Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news folks, we're looking at a potential game changer in the NFC South, and it's got everyone talking across the league. Word is that the Dallas Cowboys, faced with some serious cap issues and a tight financial situation, are exploring a bold move that could shake up the entire division, and more importantly, boost the Falcons' Super Bowl chances. The rumor mill is swirling around CeeDee Lamb, the electrifying wide receiver who's been a nightmare for defenses and a game-changer for Dallas. And surprisingly enough, there's talk about the Falcons being right in the mix for acquiring him. That's right, Atlanta could be on the verge of landing one of the league's most dynamic playmakers, and I want to walk you through what this really means for us, for the division, and for the NFL as a whole. Let's start by understanding the background. The Cowboys, despite a solid offense, are in a bit of a cap squeeze, about $35 million in the negative, and with some key extensions coming up like Micah Parsons, projected $30 million hit, they're looking at some tough decisions. They're also rebuilding their defense after a season where they leaked points, giving up around 25 points per game and dealing with injuries in the secondary. Their overall defense isn't quite what it used to be, ranking around 18th according to PFF, giving up 3 yards per carry and struggling to stop the big plays. The offense, led by Dak Prescott, has been productive but inconsistent, with some turnover issues. So the idea of trading CeeDee Lamb, who's been an absolute revelation, makes some sense from a cap perspective. Now, the rumor, as leaked by Diana Rossini and reported by The Athletic, suggests that Dallas might be open to trading Lamb to the Falcons in exchange for a second-round pick in 2026. The goal here: to free up cap room for extensions, especially for Parsons, and to retool their roster for the future. But what's really interesting is how this move could shake up the NFC South. The Falcons, already loaded with talent, especially on offense, would instantly become a much more explosive team with Lamb on the field. Imagine pairing him with Drake London, who's already established himself as a top-tier receiver with nearly 213 yards in 2025. Adding Lamb would give Atlanta a dynamic duo that defenses simply can't match, stretching the field and creating mismatches all over the place. Think about the potential. With Lamb's elite route running, ability to break man coverage, and YAC yards after catch prowess, averaging nearly 7 yards per reception, this wouldn't just be a boost, it would be a seismic shift. His 118 catches, 542 yards and 15 touchdowns in 2025 put him among the top wideouts in the league, and his contested catch rate of 69% and PFF grade of 94. 2 make him a true star. He's a deep threat, capable of turning any play into a big one, 29 plays of 20-plus yards last season, and his knack for making contested catches under pressure makes him a perfect fit for Atlanta's aggressive offensive style. Plus, his ability to run after the catch and create mismatches against even the best cornerbacks would elevate the entire Falcons' passing attack. Now, let's zoom out for a moment and consider how this impacts the division. The NFC South has been up for grabs, with the Buccaneers trying to rebuild and the Saints still trying to find consistency under Derek Carr. The Falcons, meanwhile, are stacking talent and building a competitive roster around young quarterback Desmond Ridder. Adding Lamb would give Atlanta a true game-breaking wide receiver, someone who can elevate the offense into a top-5 unit in the league. With the Falcons' current cap status, they're around $4 million after some smart moves, and releasing a veteran like Kirk Cousins could free up around $30 million in cap space, making this trade not only feasible but potentially transformative. If this move goes through, the Falcons wouldn't just be adding a star, they'd be creating a mismatch nightmare for defenses. Opposing teams would have to double Lamb and London, which opens up opportunities for Kyle Pitts, the talented tight end who's been showing flashes of his true potential. And it also means we could see a more diversified attack, more deep shots, more explosive plays, and a significant increase in yards per game. Last season, the Falcons averaged around 230 passing yards per game. With Lamb, that number could jump to over 320 yards, and the EPA, expected points added, per target would increase by approximately 31%. That's a massive upgrade and could push the Falcons into serious Super Bowl contention. Looking at the broader picture, this isn't just about one player. It's about a team elevating its entire offense, creating a new identity centered on explosive aerial attacks. The Falcons have already made significant strides in their defense, and now, with a weapon like Lamb, they could become one of the league's most feared offensive units. Imagine the red zone efficiency, with Lamb's contested catch ability and Pitt's mismatch potential, combined with the ground game led by Bijan Robinson, who's been phenomenal, rushing for over 300 yards and averaging nearly 5 yards per carry. The Falcons could become a balanced yet explosive team that forces defenses to pick their poison. Now let's talk about the Super Bowl odds. If this trade materializes, the Falcons' chances of winning it all would skyrocket. DraftKings currently has the Falcons at plus 6,000, but with Lamb in the fold, that number could drop dramatically. Some projections suggest it could move to plus 2,000 or even lower. Lamb's contested catch rate of 69% and his ability to win in tight coverage would make him a prime candidate for big-time plays in clutch moments. And that's exactly what you need when chasing a Lombardi trophy. Historically, adding a player of Lamb's caliber has been a game-changer. For example, in 2022, Tyreek Hill's trade to the Dolphins boosted their offensive efficiency by over 24%, and Lamb's impact could be similar for Atlanta. Furthermore, this move could shift the entire landscape of the NFC South. The Buccaneers, with their rebuilding effort, and the Saints, still trying to find their rhythm, could be left behind if the Falcons capitalize on this upgrade. The division could turn into a showcase for explosive offenses, Lamb, London, Pitts, and Bijan, forming a potent core that other teams will struggle to contain. The Falcons, with their improved aerial attack, could then look to dominate in the playoffs, especially with a defense that's been steadily improving and a schedule that now favors them more. Of course, there are skeptics. Some analysts question whether Lamb's high price tag, around $37 million annually, is sustainable in the long run, especially considering the Falcons' cap situation. But if they can manage the financials smartly, perhaps by restructuring contracts or releasing some veterans, they could make this work. It's about winning now and building for the future. The Falcons have the young talent, the cap flexibility, and now, potentially, the star power to make a real playoff push. In summary, this rumored trade isn't just a small move. It's a statement. It signals that the Falcons are serious about competing at the highest level, about making a deep playoff run, and about establishing themselves as a true contender in the NFC. Lamb's addition would be the ultimate piece to unlock their offensive potential, and it could very well be the move that takes Atlanta from a promising team to a Super Bowl favorite. The NFC South is heating up, and if this deal goes down, the Falcons will be front and center in that fight for the crown. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster? Do you think Lamb is the missing piece to get us over the top? Would you be excited to see him in red and black? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons, and I'll be back soon with more updates. So stay tuned, because this offseason is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory. The Falcons are making moves, and we're right here with you, ready to see this team reach new heights. Let's keep the passion alive and get ready for what's next, because the best is yet to come.